Today we're at Huddersfield Golf Club and I'm going to be testing out the new Cobra King Tour irons. Now you're in for a treat because these look incredible. Now, first off, in terms of aesthetics, I think anyone would agree these are great looking irons. I really like the simple black and silver colourway, and I also think Cobra have just done a really great job with the overall shape in here. Over the ball, I love the sizing. It doesn't look too big, it doesn't have much offset, and it also has a pretty thin top line, which I really like. I would say though it's not so small that it's too intimidating, like even over the long irons it still feels very comfortable. Honestly, this just sits so nicely at a dress, I don't really think I would change anything at all. Now if we touch on feel, these are ticking a lot of boxes for me. I love the way this interacts with the ground. It really feels like I have great control of the strike, and when you strike these good, they really do have that nice buttery feel and sound. I'm testing this in a 120 stiff shaft, but surprisingly it doesn't feel that heavy at all, and even with the long irons it still feels pretty well balanced. As with all the Cobra clubs, we have the Arcos Cobra Connect grips in them, and I really do love the tech in that, but I would say these grips are slightly too big for me, so it is kind of lower in the overall feel. Right, I've come inside because it's December and I didn't want to actually freeze to death. But before I run you through the performance, I just want to tell you a bit about the tech in these clubs. The King Tour irons get their nickname of MIM irons from the metal injection process, used to mould them into shape. Now Cobra also use higher temperatures than typical forging methods, and this just creates a tighter grain structure, so it's going to deliver a really soft feel. The irons also feature tungsten weighting in the toe, and this just realigns the centre of gravity, which gives you more stability. Then we have a thermoplastic polyurethane insert which is behind the impact zone, and this is also going to give you that softer feel as it dampens vibrations. As with all Cobra clubs, these come equipped with the Arcos grips as standard. First up, in terms of performance, let's have a look at distance. I recorded data with both the 9-iron and the 7-iron, and this is because I wanted to look at the gapping as well as how far they fly. I was going to use the 5-iron as well, but just with how heavy the shaft was, I didn't really think the data would be that accurate. Now with the 9-iron I was averaging 123 yards, and with the 7-iron I was averaging 141.6. I would say this is slightly less than what I would expect with my current irons, probably 8 yards shorter with both, but I am using a 25 gram heavier shaft. It's definitely a smaller head, and also the lofts are 2.5 degrees weaker, so I think really in terms of distances is pretty good for this iron and the setup. With both irons the carry was really consistent, and it didn't vary by more than 5 yards. And the ball speed was super consistent too. With the 9-iron it only varied by 2 miles an hour across my shots, and with the 7-iron 3 miles an hour. But overall I was most impressed with just how consistent the spin and the launch variables were with these. With this being a more tour offering, I thought it might be quite hard for me to control these so consistently, but I really didn't find that at all. Now, as you can imagine, because this club is designed for precision, it's not really designed to give you better dispersion, but my dispersion was exactly right where I'd want it to be. Obviously there's not a lot of forgiveness, so if you're someone who's looking to tighten your dispersion and looking for more forgiveness, this is not necessarily going to offer that, but personally I found it was still forgiving enough for me to use. Now a set of these sit at £999, and I think for this category of a tour player's iron and this level of performance, this is actually a really good value relative to the market. Overall, I have to say I loved the looks, the feel and the performance of these irons. Even though the carry distances were slightly down, this is an iron I would definitely consider putting in play just for the rest of its features. Right, that's all for today. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you're new, and if you're after more golf content, head to the National Club Golfers social media channels for more.